This is a Tech Quick Tip brought to you by your Technology Tutor. Today's topic is a Tech 101, understanding a basic and important technology term used a lot today, and that is URL, brought to you by Chet Davis, your Technology Tutor. The term URL is an acronym, some might call it an abbreviation, but it's more correctly an acronym for Uniform Resource Locator. Uniform Resource Locator. You don't have to memorize that because there won't be any quiz. But it's best to think of a URL as an address for accessing something out there on the internet, on the World Wide Web. This can be a web page, which it is most commonly. It can actually be a document, like a doc document for Microsoft Word. It can be a PDF under the PDF format. It can be even a folder or a specific item, like a photo or an embedded video or an MP3 piece of audio. Okay. Now, the URL is broken down into two separate parts. This is a URL that you might see. In fact, this is a URL for my website, yourtechnologytutor.com. The URL, again, really can be broken down into two different parts. We have the first part, which is known as the protocol identifier. That might be something like www or HTTP or HTTPS. We're going to talk about those in a forthcoming tutorial and the importance of using the right one if you're doing financial transactions on the internet. The second part of a URL we call the resource name. That's the specific location, the place that's also tied into the domain name, which we'll learn about in just a second. Now, when I click on one of these, like www.supremecourt.gov, and you'll find that many websites today, you can leave off the protocol identifier. You can leave off the HTTP, which is separated by the : / Now, when I click on that, it will open up my web browser, and my web browser will take me to the website that represents the Supreme Court of the United States of America. Okay, so it's taking me to the home page, the index page, or the main page. Another URL is one like this. Now, this is a bit more convoluted. So you can see we have http : commons.wikimedia.org. So that's what we call a domain name, which we'll learn about in a second. And then it's the file name. Now, this is not just a random file. I selected this on purpose because this will take us directly to the photograph of a gentleman named Tim Berners-Lee, who is credited as the founder or the creator of the term URL and the development of its use in 1994. He was on the URL working group, and they actually came up with this tool, this means to access information out there on one of the computers that's connected to the World Wide Web. Well, a domain name is like Facebook.com, Google.com. When you have a .com, a .org, a .us, a .uk, a .de, etc., you have a domain name, and that's a domain, a specific location on a computer or a group of computers, a file server somewhere out there that's connected to the internet. So a likely question is, Chet, how is a URL different than a domain name? Well, here's Facebook.com, and if I click on that, it will take me to a very specific location. It'll take me to the home page of Facebook.com. Now, if you're not logged into Facebook or you don't have a Facebook account, this is the page you'll see where it invites you to either log in or subscribe, sign up to the Facebook service. So here's the domain name plus a file name. So we have the same Facebook.com, but you can see I've added a slash, and now I've added Chet Davis Tech Tutor. So this will take us not only to the Facebook domain name, to the Facebook file servers, to the Facebook group of information and resources, but to a very specific page number or resource, and that's my Facebook page called Chet Davis Tech Tutor. So you can see that by clicking on that specific URL, it takes me to Facebook, but again, a very specific page on Facebook, and that's my page, Chet Davis Tech Tutor. By the way, if you're a member of Facebook, you're invited to like my page and stay up with all the recent technology tutorials and information that I'm happy to provide you. So that's a look at the term URL and how it affects you, how it impacts you, how you use it in your regular daily use of the internet in your computer. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you have follow-up questions related to this tutorial, if you have a suggestion for a future tutorial, for a future class or workshop, I'd be delighted to hear from you. You'll find contact information both on my Facebook page and also at my homepage. That's yourtechnologytutor.com. yourtechnologytutor.com. And now you know that's a URL.